It has a reputation as the fastest criterium series in the world. Former winners include Robbie McEwen and Olympic Games gold medalist Kathy Watts. Those that are back looking to win once again, Brenton Jones and Caleb Ewan will lock horns in the men's race. Chloe Hosking and Valentina Scandalara, former winners, trying to go again in the women's events. Hello and welcome to sunny Geelong. Matthew Keenan with you, joined by David McKenzie for the LEXUS of Blackburn Bay Crits. This is an event, David, that dates back to 1989, and it was a catalyst for the summer of cycling from the track onto the road. You won here in 96. This is a prestigious event.
Well, firstly, it makes me feel a bit older, doesn't it? But look, it's an event that we're all proud of. And somehow, John Truro, the race promoter, he manages to get superstars here year in, year out. This year, it's back. It's only 3 races, but they're going to be 3 tough races. We've got Caleb Ewan, you mentioned. Valentina Scandalara in the women. She's effectively the defending champion as well, because we missed, obviously, 12 months ago. So it's a great field, and whoever wins, there'll be a worthy one.
In the men's event, in addition to Caleb Ewan and Brenton Jones, Jane McCarthy is here, Luke Durbridge, Kundecourt. There's a whole host of World Tour riders. Heinrich Hausler amongst them, who we rarely get to watch race, and local favourite Lee Howard, who's a world record holder in the team's pursuit. On the women's side of things, Amanda Spratt is here as well for the 13th time. She loves this event.
She certainly does. Look, I am a little bit surprised to see her here after the year that she's had. Silver medalist at the World Road Championships. Aren't we blessed to have, I will say, Australia's best road rider starting here. She's got Chloe Hosking with her as well. Hosking really is a favourite to win this series overall if she brings her sprint legs with her. But Shannon Molseed, the defending Australian road champion, she'll defend that road title in about a week's time, but she'd love to open up her account with a victory here.
It starts at Eastern Gardens in Geelong. It's a tough course, almost 2 kilometres in length. The wind is always a factor here. Pat Shaw, he's ridden this race so many times, he's going to take us around the course.
Here for stage 1 of the LEXUS Blackburn 2019 Bay Crits. At the Eastern Gardens, windy conditions, but this is where the first leader's jersey will be won. Wind's going to be a deciding factor on this course today, and this first corner coming to the last lap, you're going to want to already have your teammates lined in front of you. Coming into this second last corner on this circuit, we spoke about lead-out trains. If they've not got a drill coming into this downhill section onto the water, you're in trouble. About 450 metres to go. This is your last opportunity to move up, particularly because riders are going to be all the way across the road. Into this final tight-hand left-hand turn, your sprint's going to have to be right on today. 140 metres to go, launching your sprint. It's now or never. Your team's done what they can. It's over to you. Today you take the leader's jersey. Kicking off the 2019 season with Bay Crits, Rebecca Isaac. How's it feel to be in the national colours?
It feels very special. I'm from Geelong. I went to school here, was born here, grew up here, and yeah, it's a big honour to wear the green and gold jersey. I've got 3 more days in it before I have to hand it back in Ballarat on the 4th, so I'm going to make the most of it.
No, I'm really excited to be back, and you know, I'm a big fan of Spratty, so I'm here to race alongside her.
Amanda Spratt, what a 2018. It's the 1st of January 2019. Surely, how can you beat your 2018?
Oh, I hope I can. I mean, it was a great year last year, but it makes me really hungry for this year. I got a lot of top 5s, but I'd love to turn them into wins, and I love the Bay Crits. It's the best way to start the year. I've done it 12 times. It's my 13th time. I've only missed it once because of injury, so I love it.
She's all smiles, but what is surprising given the class of Amanda Spratt is that she's only ever won 2 stages of this race. Rebecca Isaac, the Australian champion, will be one to watch, and the smiling Valentina Scandalara, a former winner. She looks happy to be here.
She loves spending time in Australia, and aren't we blessed to have her back? She's the defending champion, and although she's here to get some Ks in the bank, she'll also look to get a result as well.
This is the back part of the course as they make their way along Eastern Beach, overlooking Corio Bay. For the spectators, it's idyllic. They can see the course on both sides. The first intermediate sprint, and it's the Commonwealth champion, Chloe Hosking, showing her intentions early, chasing points for the Gatorade Sprint Ace classification.
Yes, and you can see McDonald and Sarah Tucknott, the young rider, also figuring, but no surprises really. Chloe Hosking, she's probably arguably the best sprinter in this race. She'll chase those early points.
This is the first serious move. Number 2, this is Peter Mullins. She's joined by number 11, Amanda Spratt, both former Australian road champions. This is a serious break. This is a dangerous breakaway.
It's very dangerous because Mullins in her own right, she's a very versatile rider. She'll handle this course. Will she handle, though, Amanda Spratt? And we'll get a good idea now to see the world-ranked number 3 rider, what sort of form she's in.
Importantly, it's the 2 strongest teams, Rock Salt Attacker and Lexus of Blackburn off the front. So the question remains, who does the chasing? There's lots of individuals out there. They need to get themselves organised. They don't have a team, so they need to chase. Spratt across the line for the second intermediate sprint. Small gap then to Mullins. Lebedev leads the peloton across in third.
Well, it looks like Spratt, in fact, is just turning the screws, and she is, Matt, because look at this. The gap is widening ever so slightly. Mullins is in trouble. I'm actually surprised by this.
The picture doesn't really tell the story as they were making their way to that tight left-hand turn. It is ever so slightly uphill, and now Spratt is on her own, and Mullins is fading back towards the peloton.
Yeah, this is quite impressive by Spratt, and it's still a fair way out. Look, this course, it's a criterium, but it's more like a small Kermesse circuit. The wind is buffeting them down the back straight as well. It's fairly exposed. It's a beautiful day, but it is exposed. And Mullins, she is feeling exposed because she's on her own now and she's in the middle of nowhere.
And in the fight for overall series honours, this is decided on points. 12 points for the win. Bell lap now for Amanda Spratt. 10 points for second place. Regardless of the time gap, Mullins or whoever else wants to challenge Amanda Spratt, they need to battle for second and pick up those vital points. Mullins is almost caught by the peloton.
Yeah, she needs to try and drive it home because riders like Rebecca Wyersack, I think that's Shannon Molseed on the front there driving the peloton as Spratt. She's going to cruise to victory here.
Celebration time for Amanda Spratt. Day 1 in 2019. She's picked up exactly where she left off last year. Her 3rd victory throughout her career in the Bay Crits, in her 13th participation, and she does it in emphatic fashion. Spratt showing why she was a silver medalist at the World Championships, ranked number 3 in the world, a class above the rest today. But the battle is still on for the minor placings, and who will challenge Spratt, who will take the yellow jersey. She can enjoy the moment now and look to see the national champion. It's Wysack across the line in second place. McCurley, impressive in third.
So too Scandalara picking up some valuable points as well. But the day belongs to this lady here, Amanda Spratt. How good was she?
Amanda Spratt taking out stage 1 of the 2019 LEXUS Blackburn Bay Criteriums. And, well, you said you wanted to kick it off with a bang, and you certainly did.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy. Even better than I expected. I mean, it's first race, you're never quite sure how you're going, but I'm very, very happy. And I think my team, LEXUS Blackburn, rode really well too, so I definitely benefited from that.
I think your new nickname might be Smiling Assassin, because that's absolutely what you did to Peter Mullins. Just kept attacking her.
Yeah, I mean, full respect to, I have so much respect for Peter. She's such a class rider, and I know she's very, very fast. I don't want to take her to the finish, so I just had to brutally attack her every time I got to the climb.
Spratt on the top step of the podium, Rebecca Wysack in second position, the Australian champion, and Shannon McCurley, strong track cyclist, showing good form on the road with third place. Scandalara, a former winner of the race, in fourth position. Roseman Gannon in fifth. It was then one of the pre-race favourites, Hosking, in sixth position, followed by McDonald, the next best. Spratt, it's time to celebrate. A perfect summer's day on New Year's Day, an opportunity for the locals to enjoy Eastern Beach and cool off in Corio Bay, which is just a 1-hour drive south of Melbourne. While the locals are relaxed and enjoying their summer holidays, for the riders, it's just about business time. Let's get to a former winner of the race, one of the big favourites, Caleb Ewan.
Caleb Ewan, 2019, new colours, I've got to say, they look good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to get the season started, and yeah, what better race to start the season with than Bay Crits.
It's great to have you back at the Bay Crits. You've had such a good career here. Your stats are brilliant, but you bring a brilliant lineup as well. Talk us through them.
Yeah, so we've got obviously the two Lotto guys with Roger and Adam, and then some local Sydney guys that I've been training with the last few days as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed team, but I think they're a bunch of strong guys, and hopefully we can do well.
New jersey, LEXUS Blackburn, the major team of the race. Bit of pressure on. 2014, you took out the series. Can you do it again?
Look, I hope so. We've got a strong team, Pat. LEXUS Blackburn All-Stars. Great mix of guys, experience with Luke Durbridge, a lot of young talent as well. I'm looking forward to the racing to get started in 2018-19 season. Form's not too bad, so we'll see how we go.
We'll find out soon enough as they roll away. Both Brenton Jones and Caleb Ewan, former winners of this race. David, they'll both be heavily marked.
They will be heavily marked, and incidentally, they're the only two former winners in this race, but there's a host of other talent, and we're going to see them on display. And look at this, already they are into it. There's no holding back.
The pace really is on, but what a great opportunity it is to see Caleb Ewan for the first time in his new colours of Lotto Soudal. This is Raphael Feinstein now, German rider who is based in Australia. He's riding here for the LEXUS of Blackburn team. He won the Australian National Road Series and the Australian National Criterium Series last year. Durbridge with a mechanical problem.
Oh, this is not good timing, and he doesn't look too happy either. A little bit frustrated there. I think Luke Durbridge is pretty keen to race, and at the moment, he's dropping off the back, so not good signs.
In a situation like this, if it is a recognised mechanical problem, he's able to get one lap out and rejoin the race. If they don't think it's a real mechanical problem, he can't. This is Miles Scottson now on the attack. He's riding here for the MS All-Star teams, but he's in the colours of his new trade team in Europe, Group Armour FDJ.
And this break has really got established. You can see the camera in the background there. We cannot see the peloton. Michael Freiberg on the front, Scottson, who you mentioned, Reese Tucknott in the yellow colours there, and the Austrian, Marco Haller, back from having 190 days off the bike with a career-ending injury. Well, look at this. He's about to win the first sprint of the day.
Good return to racing for Marco Haller. He gets the points ahead of Feinstein, then Freiberg in third position. That's the battle for the Gatorade Sprint Ace green jersey. Now the challenge, David, as you know well, is getting organised because the chase is on from the peloton, and this is Roger Kluger, a teammate of Caleb Ewan.
Well, he sensed the danger, and rightly so, because that group, not one of them is missing turns. They're rotating very nicely indeed. It's not very organised in the peloton. Kluger is prepared to chase, but he needs a few more. And look, there's gaps opening up. This actually isn't good for the peloton if they want to bring that break back.
34 seconds, the advantage for the breakaway group. The peloton strung out in single file. This is Lee Howard, one of the local favourites down towards the back. Caleb Ewan in last position. Out of the saddle around the corner, he's got some sort of a mechanical problem, similar to what we saw with Luke Durbridge.
Well, you don't sit on the back in a race like this if you're Caleb Ewan and say, yeah, there's certainly something going wrong. Meanwhile, it's full steam ahead, and it's Miles Scottson who is really leading this pack.
This is the second intermediate sprint. Raphael Feinstein collecting the points. Reese Tucknott in second. Miles Scottson in third. No points for Marco Haller. So Raphael Feinstein is the new leader in the battle for green.
And how good is Tucknott riding amongst his more accomplished riders out in this break? So far, he's looking good. He's rotating turns. He wants to be just a little bit careful because when you get the likes of Haller and Scottson who really turn it up, that's when it'll start to hurt.
Reese Tucknott is the rider in the yellow colours from the Velo Fit Santic racing team, one of the West Australians in the race. And Miles Scottson now, he's trying to go solo. He is a super strong individual time trialist.
Well, it's long range, isn't it? It's a fair way to go. And on a course like this, it's the wind is blowing. It's a mini Kermesse. That's what I said earlier. And Scottson, it doesn't bother him at all. And he's obviously not happy with the speed. He wants to up the ante.
And Marco Haller, the former Austrian national road champion, marks Miles Scottson. Tucknott in yellow is just dropping off the back a little bit. This is going to be a tough fight for Tucknott to rejoin this group.
Yeah, and that's what I talked about. He just needed to be careful. You can get a little bit excited, a little bit carried away in a breakaway. Let's hope Tucknott can battle on, and if not, get back onto the group, at least hold off the peloton, but it looks like he has. There he is. He's rejoined the back. This is a good ride.
Meanwhile, Raphael Feinstein in the black colours for LEXUS of Blackburn, setting the tempo up through that corner. Tough corner. It really washes off the speed. The third and final sprint. And it is Marco Haller collecting maximum points ahead of Michael Freiberg. He now leads in the race for the Gatorade Sprint Ace green jersey. Peloton, who's doing the chasing?
It is the GPM Stoltz team who are on the front.
Yeah, and look, what you notice, though, there's not too many riders from the same team, so it's a bit of a not very organised chase. Miles Scottson, he is hungry for victory. This is the second big attack. He's being frustrated by this group. He wants to go it alone, and he probably knows there's a couple of faster riders there if it comes down to a sprint finish. Marco Haller is looking good. Tucknot still struggling on the back, but he's still there. Michael Freiberg looks like he could be in a bit of bother.
The two Western Australians at the back of the breakaway group. Marco Haller showing full respect for Miles Scottson, former Australian road champion, but also former Australian under-23 time trial champion. He is a powerhouse against the clock. Looks as if he might be recognising the fact, though, that he doesn't quite have the horsepower on the 1st of January to hold off the chasing group.
Well, it's a tough course, and I think we mentioned in the women's race, it drags uphill here, and the wind is buffeting them. So you really have to be on your A game if you're going to go solo to the finish.
Down to the final 2 laps. The peloton, they look to be out of contention. They're still more than 30 seconds behind. That's 4 kilometres 2 laps of this course.
Yeah, look, it can be done. It's not done yet. They can't afford to sit up and cat and mouse just yet, and they realise that because they're rotating turns, and Tucknot is still, credit to him, he's prepared to roll through.
He's a very strong mountain bike rider as well, and we've seen plenty of Australians make the transition from the dirt to the road and do it successfully, and Tucknot is on target. He's still just 22 years of age.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that he's mixing it with the calibre of the riders in this breakaway. Scottson at the rear. Will we see another flyer for him? What about Freiberg? I expect him to be quick. The bell sounds, Matt. 1 lap to go. Cannot see the peloton at all.
Well, they've got so much time up their sleeve. The tactical game now starts to get played out. The peloton being led through by Nathan Huss. They're at 30 seconds behind. And now at the front, it's Reece Tucknot. Is he just racing for a spot on the podium? He needs to race for the win and believe in himself.
You do. You've got to back yourself in when you get to this point and you're still with the leaders. And look, he's boxing on. He's swung off. Haller, though, he looks confident. He's prepared to lead them out.
Well, and Tucknot, he does believe in himself. He's done the right thing. He's slotted himself in a second position on the wheel of Marco Haller. Meanwhile, Miles Scottson and Michael Freiberg, they're rubbing shoulders. The sprint is on for the final corner. This is just at 150 metres to go. It's the big Austrian, Marco Haller, who leads them through. Scottson is the challenger. Raf Feinstein is trying to slide up the inside of Michael Freiberg, but it is Marco Haller who opens up his account in 2019 with a brilliant win. Minor placings, Feinstein just ahead of Scottson.
Wow, Marco Haller, what a brilliant ride. And look at the peloton. I tell you what, they weren't too far behind, Matt. And it's Lee Howard who leads them across the line for the bunch sprint. Nathan Huss is in there, Brenton Jones and Jay McCarthy. So some valuable points gained.
Number 23, though, Marco Haller, his career was almost over 12 months ago after horrific training accidents. He's back, and he's back in a big way, beating a quality field, including Miles Scottson, Michael Freiberg, a former world champion on the track. That's the sort of win that will give him the confidence to lead him through to a brilliant season throughout 2019. Significantly, the team that's here with him, Nathan Huss and also Alex Dowsett, along with 2 young rising stars, will be delighted. Here's the winner.
Marco, all the way out from Europe. Did you come here with the expectation to have a victory today?
Absolutely not, since basically this was my first race, also my first competitive race after injury last year. So, well, absolutely didn't expect it. Came here to test legs and form for Tour Down Under, and nice to start it this way.
Top step of the podium for Marco Haller, Raphael Feinstein in the black colours, and then it's Miles Scottson rounding out the podium in 3rd. Michael Freiberg was in 4th, Reece Tucknot in 5th position. It was Lee Howard who led home the peloton, just ahead of Nathan Huss and Brenton Jones, followed then by Jay McCarthy and Craig Wiggins. The green jersey, that sits with Marco Haller. Also the yellow jersey, the general classification, reflecting exactly the same as the stage standings. The helicopter journey around Eastern Beach, which is also scattered with the famous bollards that tell much of the history of the region, and an opportunity for some to take a camel ride, a slightly rough but relaxing way to enjoy the area.
For any teenager in their final year at school, it's a big one. Add to the mix World Junior Championships and it becomes enormous. For Australia's Sarah Gigante, 2018 was extraordinary. She won 6 gold medals at Australian Championships, broke both of her arms, then went to the Junior World Championships and won a silver medal. Then she completed her final year at school and she got the perfect score with a 99.95. For Sarah Gigante, anything is possible.
She is the new Australian Criterium champion. It is Sarah Gigante.
Yeah, winning is definitely a 1 in a million feeling. Nothing can beat that. Yeah, last year was a fantastic year. I started out winning the 3 national titles in the under-19s at Bunningong, then 3 more in the track a month later. And then I was lucky enough to go to Worlds on the track and the road later that year, so it was really great. I'd say I'm an all-rounder. I'm quite tenacious, determined. That's definitely my strength. I'd say I'm quite determined off the back as well as on the back with my studies, and yeah, just in life I like just never giving up. This year I'm going to be studying a Bachelor of Science, so just keeping my doors open for medicine, engineering, IT, law even, so I'm not sure what I want to do yet. My goals for this year are to keep having fun on the bike, take it as far as I can, hopefully improve in many ways, physically and also in the back, so yeah, it will be a great year.
Stage 2 of the LEXUS Blackburn Bay Crits 2019 series here in Eastern Beach today, and well, let's have a look at the course. First corner, absolutely crucial. It's a difficult one and sometimes the riders will get it wrong. If you do, you'll lose 2 or 3 places through the corner and that's going to cause chaos for the rest of your lap. The tailwind back straight for today's race, it is going to be crucial for the riders. When they come down here, they'll be fighting for position for the final straight. Headwind this year, final straight, this is where you've got to get in position. Final corner. Everyone comes in here extra hot this last lap and there will be crashes. You need to position yourself in a good place to come out of that corner. Second or third wheel with the headwind today. 100 metres to go. That's when you've got to power it down. Don't look back. There's no stopping now. Now's the time to take the win. Peter Mullins, it's 2019. You're back at the Bay Crits. Yesterday, an aggressive effort out front with Amanda Spratt. What's the plan today?
My 12th year at the Bay Crits. I think I've got lots of plans. I absolutely love the circuit on Ritchie Boulevard. I think it's a really easy race to be aggressive and sort of reap the rewards from the race.
No, I actually want to have a slower start to this season. I think I paid for having such a strong start last year, so I'm just trying to ease into it, and I thought, well, what's a better way to find some form than the Bay Crits?
Whilst it's Chloe Hosking in the black colours of the LEXUS Blackburn team, her teammate from the dream team of this race, Amanda Spratt, has the yellow jersey. David, this course suits Chloe a lot better than it does Amanda. Do they go for the stage or do they protect Amanda's yellow jersey?
That's an interesting question because I think, look, there's a few other riders from rival teams who probably are more suited than Amanda to this sort of course. So I think there's so much can unfold. I think they have to back Chloe in this one for the win. But Rebecca Wyasack, there she's in third wheel. She'll be hunting for a victory today as well.
First intermediate sprint, Chloe Hosking picking up the points, moving herself to the top of the leaderboard in the race for the Gatorade Sprint Ace jersey. She won the first intermediate sprint on day one also. Such a strong team. This is one of her teammates at the front now. That's Romy Kasper, all the way from Germany. Towards the back of the group, in second last position, Shannon Mulseed. Second sprint, Hosking picking up the points again. Matilda Reynolds in second position. And then Veronika Lebedev in third. She's been the revelation of the series in just 1.5 days racing.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, isn't it? And I'm loving the fact that we're mentioning these new names, new women that are just bursting onto the scene. And I'll tell you what, bursting out of the pack, Valentina Scandalara, the defending series champion, and Chloe Hosking. She's not missing any moves today.
When Scandalara won the series, she won here at Ritchie Boulevard on the opening day of racing. So she knows the course, she's got fond memories, and she's got good company. Hosking and Scandalara, 2 of the fastest sprinters, 2 of the best criterium riders. They're off the fronts, and they're getting down towards the business end of the race. The third sprint, Scandalara taking the points. Hosking in second. Not contesting, just making sure that they work well together. Reynolds in third.
Yeah, they're absolutely sharing the workload, aren't they? Scandalara flicks over, looks behind, so too Hosking. They just want to see if that peloton is chasing or not. But I can't see them getting caught. Two strong riders out in front, prepared to work, although it's still pretty close.
It is close. Nervous through the corners on every occasion around this course. We have seen plenty of crashes. Check across the shoulder from Scandalara. An attack out of the peloton. This is Matilda Reynolds. She's only been racing for 2 years, but she already belongs at an international level.
And look at this. She is zipping across the move here. Perfect timing out of that last hairpin turn. It was Romy Casper who sort of lost the wheel and went, I've got to let her go now. It's too late. She's almost across. Straight to the front, pulling a turn.
That is impressive. As soon as she's made contact, no sitting on. She knows if she did sit on, they might lose a little bit of momentum. So she's shown real maturity for somebody with limited racing experience. Chloe Hosking, what a 2018 it was for her.
Yeah, look, she's developed into a world-class sprinter. She's one of the best in a straight-line sprint. But more tactics come into play today, and she just wants to keep an eye on Valentina Scandalara. Amanda Spratt, she doesn't look too perturbed by this. No stress for her. She'll just sit back. She'll cover the moves and cover the ones that worry her the most. Rebecca Wyasak in front of her is one of them.
She'll be relatively happy with the situation. Bell lap. It is Hosking who leads. She's a teammate of Amanda Spratt, who has the yellow jersey on. Scandalara won here in 2017. And Matilda Reynolds, she is proven to be super strong. There's real battle for that final corner to see who can lead them out.
Yeah, I'd like to see Reynolds get the jump on them here. She needs to come out of that corner first with 1 or 2 lengths. When you've got Hosking and Scandalara, they're very, very quick.
And the cat and mouse game being played. Hosking trying to hold them on the hip. Scandalara is diving for that corner. Hosking leads into it, holds her position. Scandalara leads out of it just up the inside. Shoulder to shoulder as the sprint for home gets underway. It's Hosking with her nose in front. Reynolds will be in third. Scandalara still trying to challenge. Hosking holding on. It's the Commonwealth champion. She gets the win. She'll also move into the yellow jersey. Scandalara in second spot. Reynolds in third.
Yeah, Hosking just too strong there. Too much power out of that corner. She had the outside line. Big smile on her face. I think every rider just likes to kickstart their 2019 with a win early on, a wave to the camera. It's good for her.
She is Australia's best sprinter. She's won on the Champs-Elysees. Scandalara didn't make any mistakes. Hosking was simply stronger. Scandalara acknowledges the performance of Chloe Hosking. Let's now get down to the stage winner.
The last 2 times you've been in Geelong, you've won. I mean, it's a good recipe for the 2019 season.
Yeah, I love racing in Geelong. It was one of the major draw cards to come and race here again this year after the Bay Crits went on last year. So it's always nice to come back, and obviously Geelong agrees with me.
Top step of the podium for Chloe Hosking, Scandalara in second, Matilda Reynolds in third place. And in terms of the general classification, with Rebecca Wyasak finishing in fourth, followed then by Peter Mullins, we now have an Amanda Spratt down in seventh position, 4 riders separated by just 1 point. Chloe Hosking, she also picked up some intermediate sprints along the way to collect the green jersey, but Hosking, Scandalara, Wyasak all together on 17 points, Spratt just 1 point behind in fourth place.
Well, there it is. Just 1 point separating the top 4, but 3 on the same point. So it comes down to the final day. She really will want to defend this lead, I think, Matt.
Born in Inverell with a German father, Heinrich Hausler was torn between riding for Australia and riding for Germany. Early in his career, he raced under a German licence. He then took out an Australian licence and has won the green and gold at World Championships. Now with the Bahrain Merida team, he's a bodyguard on the road for one of the world's very best, Vincenzo Nibali.
There's a massive crowd here in Como. He's under that 1 kilometre to go. And now he's just going to enjoy the noise of the crowd in his ears here.
Definitely, yeah. I think for every rider's their career is to win a stage at the Tour de France.
All he has to do now is just raise his hands in glory and enjoyment. What a great ride.
Yeah, the people that seen him back then, they could kind of see the emotions I was going through. I mean, I didn't even really realise, only really with the last 300, 400 metres it all sank in. I had a lot of second places in that year, so I was just always thinking, oh, they're going to come from behind or something's going to happen. So You could only really, I'd say, enjoy the moment or enjoy the feelings after the race, and I just, kind of bursted into tears, just of happiness. So, I mean, it's something I'll never forget. It's a really special day.
Hausler is going to give this to New South Wales.
But also, number 2 is not far behind. It's the national road title back in 2015. That really meant something to me. It was something I'll never forget.
He is the champion of Australia, and that is an incredible result.
Yeah, I am getting older now, but I'm still young in the head. I'm 34 years old. Yeah, there's a lot of young guys, a lot of talent coming up, so I'm turning into more of a guy that the younger riders look up to, more like a road captain. I'm more of the older guy, but I've still got a little punch left in me and would like to have a go on the classics.
He's had an outstanding career, Heinrich Hausler. It's been plagued with injuries at some points, but he's still got plenty to give. Caleb Ewan in the Lotto Soudal colours, searching for his first victory of the season. Admittedly, it is only day number 2. And Brenton Jones, he has been a former series winner. He's got a strong team around him with the LEXUS of Blackburn squad.
Yeah, Brenton Jones would dearly love to get a victory here. He loves starting his season with the Bay Criterium Series. Marco Haller in the yellow jersey, he switched on for day 2. This is all new for him, but he's enjoying it.
It was Jones who led them around the first corner, and he knows this race better than anybody in the peloton. As a 10, 11, 12-year-old, he was helping mum and dad put the barricades out, and he's now won the series. This is Guy Kalmer from the Velo Fit Santic racing team, and that's a reminder as to how dangerous this course is.
Yeah, and look at that, his sunglasses have come off his head. I think they might be gone. Throw them in the bin. But you're right, Matt. He wasn't taking it particularly too fast. The wheel, though, the front wheel can just slide from under you at any given time.
And that has caught the attention of all the big favourites. Nathan Haas controlling the pace at the front. It's now Kunda Courts, followed by Jay McCarthy. And a little bit of rubbing of shoulders as Guy Kalmer is taking one lap out after that crash. He's got himself right back in the mix. They're coming for the first of the intermediate sprints. McCarthy is showing himself up towards the fronts. The peloton is under serious pressure. It's McCarthy, Kalmer, then to Courts.
Kalmer, what a ride. He's crashed, he's got back in, he took that lap out, as you said, and now he's placed in the first sprint of the day, so he's obviously motivated. And you could just see, look through those corners, they're going 3 abreast at some points. Now we see Roger Kluger wrestling control of this peloton, looking after Caleb Ewan. They're on the hunt for a victory.
And the yellow jersey, Marco Haller, slots himself smartly into third wheel. That's how you defend your overall race lead.
Absolutely. Look, he just needs to sort of follow the wheels. He doesn't want to mark too many. He doesn't want to do too much chasing today, Marco Haller. Just sit back, defend, stay out of the wind.
And he's sprinting here to pick up some points in the race for the green jersey, which he also leads second behind Michael Freiberg from the breakaway yesterday. But Marco Haller, he will still hold on to green, and it was Roger Kluger across the line in third.
Well, I think he's keeping his options open, and if he can just pick off a couple of sprint points here and there. Caleb Ewan here, look at this. This is a smart move. Roger Kluger was on his wheel. He just let the wheel go. He's not waiting for the sprint, Matt.
No, and then it is Heinrich Hausler in the red colours in third position. That move by Caleb has certainly caught Hausler's attention. There aren't too many races where Caleb gets the opportunity to attack. The team generally likes him just to sit the wheels and save it all for the sprint. But this is just a 1 hour race, and Caleb is on.
He's on, and because of these efforts that have happened, this constant attacking, as we see Heinrich Hausler now trying to jump across, the field has diminished down to about 15 or so riders. It's a real race of attrition, this one.
Hausler in second position, corners well, but not quite as quickly as Caleb Ewan. Sprints across. Robbie Hucker it is in the black colours from the LEXUS of Blackburn team. He manages to make contact. That's a good performance.
And now Ewan swings across. He's just waiting for Hausler to come through. He hesitates, but now he rolls through. I think he noticed that there was a little bit of a gap, so they're going to try and go on with it here.
And it was Jay McCarthy doing the chasing. There's McCarthy out of the corner, followed then by Brenton Jones. Zach Dempster is the next in line. And the yellow jersey, Marco Haller, no teammates remaining.
Yeah, this is where he needs to be careful, Haller, and he's better off to sit where he is at the moment. Don't be a sitting duck on the front. Let the other riders do the chase. They're not that far ahead. He doesn't want to let them get too far out of sight, but he just needs to stay calm.
Through the intermediate sprint on that occasion, it was no real contest. It was just Heinrich Hausler trying to keep them off the fronts. They've now been caught. There's just 12 or 13 riders left in contact. Down to the final lap. The bell sounds, and the battle is on for these last few corners.
Well, Roger Kluger, he's just slipped into the role that he's used to doing throughout the year. He's got Caleb on the wheel. This is a good dress rehearsal for the next 12 months or so for these two riders.
Charging down the back straight, it's Roger Kluger doing the lead out for Caleb Ewan. The battle for that final corner. Marco Haller in the yellow jersey has got himself right up in the mix. So too is Heinrich Hausler. He pushes and he shoves his way onto the wheel of Caleb Ewan. It's Haller in yellow, followed by Caleb Ewan. The race leader leads out. Caleb is waiting to pounce. Heinrich Hausler is trying to hold on. Caleb opens up the afterburners. It's King Caleb of the Criteriums who wins in Geelong. He's first in Lotto Sildale colours, and he makes it look easy.
Well, it was a couple of lengths in the end, but I tell you what, I was impressed with Marco Haller because he made sure he came out of the corner first. He was never going to match this young man here, though, Caleb Ewan. All smiles for him. Victory number 1 for 2019.
Marco Haller did everything right, got into that final corner. The only way to beat Caleb on this course is to lead out through that final corner, but he was going away from them at the finish, and Heinrich Hausler also finished strongly. Let's now get down to the stage winner, Caleb Ewan.
Yeah, you know, actually, it didn't feel that quick. It felt like a bit of a grind, but yeah, you know, I felt really strong today, and I had to go off the front and to see how it would go. But yeah, then I got caught and had to refocus for the sprint, and luckily I still felt good in the end.
All smiles on the podium for Caleb Ewan. In second position, Heinrich Hausler, followed by the ever-consistent Marco Haller. It was then Jay McCarthy and Michael Freiberg rounding out the top 5. In terms of the overall standings, it's Marco Haller who has now extended his lead. He's out to 20 points in the race for the yellow jersey, though he also leads the battle for the green jersey in the Sprint Ace classification. Haller leads overall 5 ahead of Freienstein. It's then Freiberg in third, followed by Caleb Ewan, and then it's Heinrich Hausler in 5th place, Jay McCarthy and Reece Tucknott. The yellow jersey for Marco Haller, one day remains. Can he defend in Williamstown? The city of Hobsons Bay hosting the final stage. Williamstown just across the bay from the city of Melbourne itself. What an idyllic location and a great spot to have the final battle in the race for yellow jersey in the LEXUS of Blackburn Bay Crits. At the top of the general classification, Valentina Scandalara on 17 points. She's locked together with the yellow jersey of Chloe Hosking and also the Australian champion, Rebecca Wysack. Wysack doesn't have teammates. Scandalara and Chloe Hosking both do. This will be a huge battle for yellow, and it is Pat Shaw to take us around the course.
Stage 3 of the LEXUS Blackburn 2019 Bay Criteriums. This is where the overall winner will be decided. Here in Williamstown, the first corner is almost the most crucial. Being in good position each lap will save your legs and give you the legs you require to win the race. After the first corner, it's a false flat, uphill almost, and it's a difficult one to move up and make positions. If you're out of position here, your race may already be over. A narrow back straight makes it easy for a team that is lined up at the front, but difficult for riders to gain positions. With only 700 metres until the finish, now is your last opportunity to make up space before that sprint. Final corner coming into the home straight. If you come through this corner first, you are winning today. No one can come off the wheel and win here today. Chloe Hosking, leader of the 2019 Bay Crits. Who's your most feared rival?
Oh, I think like they all bring different elements that make them equally dangerous. So kind of just going to have to go out there and play it by ear and see what happens. But either way, I think it's going to be a super exciting race, and I much prefer it this way than having a clear-cut winner going into the final stage.
Certainly entertaining for us, Chloe, as she has the yellow jersey on. Scandalara has won the series before. Rebecca Wyzak, well, she is the Australian champion. We know she's quality in a criterium.
Yeah, look, Chloe Hosking's in the box seat, but as we said, 3 of them on the same point. So whoever crosses the line first today in the points will win the series. But there's 3 women have nipped off the front here, and that's Natalie Redmond, the South Australian, an individual rider, mixing it up with some of the internationals. Peter Mullins again on the attack, and Romy Casper.
Well, Romy Casper is a teammate of Chloe Hosking, and Peter Mullins now at the front. She's a teammate of Valentina Scandalara. But Natalie Redmond, a brilliant cyclocross rider, she's here on her own. She has no teammates, but she's in with a chance of a podium finish on the stage.
Yeah, and look, she's another one of these women, these new names that we're mentioning. They're just coming up from nowhere and they're mixing it. They're not afraid to go on the attack against some of their more credentialed rivals.
That was Eloise Vaughan leading the peloton. As the breakaway group of 3, they're about to lap the peloton. This might just cause a little bit of confusion, but as they take the lap, what the riders will be hearing from the race officials is that the peloton, they will be sprinting for 4th place on the stage at 3 laps to go, and whoever gets across the line first in that sprint between Scandalara, Wyzak and Hosking will go out the series winner.
Yeah, and it's good because we can now focus on this first sprint, as you mentioned, Matt, the peloton. That will be for the overall. The 3 leaders who have lapped the field, they have no bearing in the overall standings, but they too will sprint for the victory on the day.
So when they go through the sprint for 4th place, the 3 who have lapped the field, they will get 3 laps to go. Wyzak, the Australian champion, is sitting in 2nd last position. This is Lebedev, who has been really impressive.
Yeah, she's been the revelation, as you mentioned, I think on day 1, and she's skated around that corner there. This is a serious attack by Lebedev.
And it's Emma Chilton who is with her. She's been very good as well. She's coached by Peter Mullins.
And look, they've opened up a bit of a gap. Chilton now, she's out of the saddle. Lebedev, keen to work, keen to come through. Here's the peloton, and this is this tricky corner. So far, everyone's made it through safely.
Clover Murray at the back of the group. The sprint is on. This is the final corner in the race for the series. It's Scandalara that gets in the corner first. It's then Chloe Hosking. The yellow jersey's got some work to do. Scandalara wins the sprint for 4th on the stage and wins the series for the 2nd time in her career.
Well, she timed it to perfection, Scandalara. She knew how to race against Chloe Hosking. She knew she needed to be in front of her. She got the jump on her. Amazing, and that is why the defending champion has defended once again.
And as they celebrate, they saw the 3 leaders. They go through with 3 laps to go, and Scandalara now encouraging Peter Mullins, and there's Mullins in 2nd spot. It's Romy Casper in 3rd. Natalie Redmond leads.
It's like a 3-up track sprint, Matt. 3 riders now left on the course to battle it out for line honours for today. The bell sounds. It's Natalie Redmond in the lead. She's backing herself in.
Through this tight corner, Redmond ahead of Mullins, and then Casper at the back. Peter Mullins, she's won plenty of stages of this series in the past. The team's had a brilliant day. They've won the series overall with Scandalara, but Redmond is having a real go at this final corner. Mullins, with her experience, she gets up the inside. It's Casper in 3rd. Mullins now making her bid for victory. Redmond is trying to challenge. It is Mullins who is holding on, and it's Mullins who ends the day perfect for the Rock Salt team. They win the stage, they win the series, and they take out the team's classification.
Well, they did everything to perfection, didn't they? Peter Mullins, she timed that well. She's happy. She's finally got her victory in this year's series. I'll tell you what, though, Natalie Redmond, she went long range. Brilliant ride by her. She got the better of Romy Casper for 2nd place, but all the spoils, as you mentioned, to Peter Mullins. And this lady here, Valentina Scandalara, what a class act, Matt.
Tactically brilliant on the final corner. Here she is.
Valentina, after a great race today, you take out the Bay Series 2019, your 2nd time. What's it mean?
Wow, I'm so happy, and in Williamstown in front of my Italian friends that come here every year. It's amazing, and today I was pretty nervous because when you're sitting same point with riders like Hosking and Wyzak, and Spratt with 1 point to less than us. It's really hard to win. Plus Pita was in the breakaway and she went for the stage win, so I didn't, she had to give me a lead out, so I found myself alone. So it's great to pull it out, and Pita finished off the job with a win. So for Roxel, it's a great day.
It was a great day. Peter Mullins all smiles. Great result for Peter Mullins ahead of Redmond and Casper after being so close on day one with Amanda Spratt.
Yeah, well, look, you'd be forgiven to thinking we may not see Peter Mullins again in the series, but she picked herself up. And great victory. Chloe Hosking, look, she'll be slightly disappointed, but she's happy. She's taken the green jersey as the winner of the sprints classification.
The overall standings, it's Valentina Scandalara with the win, 1 point ahead of Chloe Hosking. And Peter Mullins, she fought her way back to finish in third place overall. It was then Amanda Spratt and Rebecca Wysack, all locked together on 18 points. With the count back, Mullins goes to third because of the stage victory. It is champagne time, courtesy of Mitchelton. Huge crowd in Williamstown as Marco Haller is out to defend his yellow jersey. He has a 5-point buffer over Raphael Feinstein. Caleb Ewan, he needs to win and hope that Haller finishes outside the top 5 on today's stage.
What's it mean to you after all the setbacks from your injury to be here winning and also leading the series?
Well, mainly for me, it's important for myself that I just prove again that I can be competitive. And this makes me very happy, and yeah, I enjoy racing.
You enjoy racing when you're winning.
Absolutely, Marco Haller. Good to see him back. Just to think, Matt, he spent 190 days off the bike with an almost career-ending accident, 36 stitches in his kneecap, and now he's back and he's about to defend and potentially win his first race of the season.
And his teammates, in particular the Australian, Nathan Huss, leading the peloton through, really keen to support a guy who normally plays the selfless role for others to be able to win. And here he is, the yellow jersey, sprinting for points for the green jersey, the Gatorade Sprint Ace. And he takes those points ahead of Raphael Feinstein, Alex Dowsett in third position.
Well, it's the two riders that are battling out for overall honours. Feinstein just 5 points behind in the overall, but Marco Haller is doing it smart, isn't he?
He wins the second sprint as well, ahead of Luke Durbridge, then Dowsett in third place. So Marco Haller cannot be beaten in the race for the Gatorade Sprint Ace classification, but he can be beaten in the series. And this is now Roger Kluger, along with Caleb Ewan, attacking to try and ride away from the other sprinters.
Well, the tempo has been high for the whole race, and now it's just gone up another level. You do not give Roger Kluger an inch, especially when he's got Caleb Ewan right on the wheel.
And Luke Durbridge knows that so well, a former teammate of Caleb Ewan. It's Durbridge for the Lexus of Blackburn team chasing, trying to set up the stage for either Raphael Feinstein, who is second overall, or the better of the sprinters on that team, Brenton Jones.
Yes, and Durbridge now just closing in on that rear wheel of Caleb Ewan. But Roger Kluger, he won't sit up until Caleb gives him the word. So he's going to force not just Durbridge, but now Nathan Haas has taken over. So he's now chasing as well. So they haven't quite brought them back just yet.
Nathan Huss, followed then by Marco Haller, Jay McCarthy, Brenton Jones, all the stars of the race, including Heinrich Hausler, showing themselves at the front.
And the peloton, look at that at the back there. It's splintering. Miles Scottson, he's caught back in that second group. So there's riders really starting to feel the pinch.
Fresh attack off the fronts. Caleb has been caught. This is Jay McCarthy, followed by Heinrich Hausler. Roger Kluger now is doing the chasing. And Heinrich has flipped him the bird. They're actually really good friends, those two. They were teammates for a long time. And Heinrich doesn't want his good friend Roger Kluger chasing him down.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there, but now he's off the front once again. And Miles Scottson, he somehow weaved his way through that peloton, jumped across to McCarthy and Hausler, and now he's surging at the front.
Bell lap, one to go, Miles Scottson. It's followed by McCarthy, then Hausler and Kluger with Caleb Ewan behind him. Still plenty of work to do.
There's a bit of work to do. They've only got about 20 metres. They can't afford to cat and mouse at all. And Scottson realises that. He looks over his shoulder. So does McCarthy. So they can't afford to sit back. But I think it could be too late because Roger Kluger now is chasing them down the back straight. Caleb Ewan is right on his wheel. Hausler now takes a flyer, Matt.
Big attack by Heinrich Hausler, just 2 corners remaining. The chase is on behind. And now the battle between Caleb Ewan and Brenton Jones. They're sprinting for the final corner. They've caught Heinrich Hausler. Caleb with his nose in front. Jones in second position. Can he possibly get off the wheel of Caleb Ewan and over the top? Caleb, though, too good, too quick. Back to back, he wins again. It's Jones in second, Hausler third, Marco Heller fourth on the stage, secures the series.
Well, Brenton Jones, he just did not leave that rear wheel of Caleb Ewan.
Marco Heller, understandably so, delighted. Likewise, the stage winner, Caleb Ewan. And in the middle of those two, the race director, John Trevorrow, equally as happy. Let's now head down to the stage winner, Caleb Ewan.
Yeah, you know, I'm feeling really good. I was a bit worried after the first day because I actually wasn't feeling that good, but I think I've got over my jet lag and everything now, and yeah, I'm feeling good, so hopefully that can go well on the weekend as well.
Yeah, on the weekend and into Tour Down Under, we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Marco Heller, you've done it. You've taken out the 2019 LEXUS of Blackburn Bay Criterium. Tell us how it feels.
Brilliant. I've heard so much about this series, and then I came here, part of it, and straight away win it. And all this after my tough 2018 season. Really sick, really happy. Great ride here. Simply great.
Caleb Ewan, Brenton Jones and Heinrich Hausler, 3 of Australia's fastest sprinters.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, it's exciting to see Heinrich Hausler sort of moving back towards his best.
In 4th position, it was Marco Heller, followed then by Nathan Huss, and Raphael Feinstein in 8th position slips off the podium in the overall standings. The green Gatorade Sprint Ace jersey, that also goes to the Austrian Marco Heller. The podium for the top 3 overall, it is world class. Marco Heller just ahead of Caleb Ewan, with Heinrich Hausler making it onto the podium in 3rd. Raphael Feinstein on a countback slips down to 4th. Brenton Jones rounded out the top 5. The 30th year anniversary edition of the LEXUS of Blackburn Bay Crits, they've been brilliant. Scandalara wins the women's race. Marco Heller takes the title in the men's race. On behalf of David McKenzie and myself, Matthew Keenan, bye for now.